Welcome back. This is Lars, and we're playing KSP hard mode again. And as you can see on the sped up footage here, we are launching another mission. This is a manned mission though, and quick break from our last couple of days of remote missions, the remote tech stuff. Now we are going outside of the Kerbin system and just getting some science. This is a science mission. We didn't get any of the science we got on the last interplanetary mission because, well, we screwed up. So there is some easy obtainable stuff like science right outside of our own little planetary system here. So our goal right now is just get out there, grab as much science as we can, and get back down. And actually return home this time. Now, I used the same vehicle here, more or less, because it did work. It actually pulled us quite far away from Kerbin. And I'm guessing, well, my bet is if you have something that works, there's really no reason to change it, is it? Now, as you can see there, we are just doing a direct burn here. We don't really care which way we're going out. And I just tried to target the multicom set there just to see if that works, but didn't seem to be working, so we actually have to return with this stuff. Now, our app-ups is increasing quickly here, and we need to push by, I think, 55 or something to actually get out there. Now, I tried to see if I can get through the moon's sphere of influence here. Maybe there's some science left there that we couldn't get on the first try. I couldn't remember at this point, so I wanted to just whiz by and maybe get an EVA report and see if we can get any extra science. Though, well, you know my expertise of the warp button, so you can probably guess how that works out. Not good. As you can see, we just whiz by. So, well, we burn up even more and get out there. And now this is kind of buggy because when you're almost out of the sphere of influence of something, but you're still kind of going the same way, it kind of bugs out a couple of times. So we're still, I think now we are actually outside the sphere of influence. We get the stuff and we start heading back. And then again, we set our target and have a look. And I was a bit unsure on what the best way of doing this would be. And I kind of decided that like speeding up and heading back to the target would probably be our best bet, because we are going slower, so we need to speed back up. And it's a not insignificant amount of speed that we're missing here. So we're trying to get a close approach, and I'm having some problems here. I'm trying to look at the rendezvous panel in Flight Engineer, but I can't really seem to figure it out. But there, we get it. So it's basically a crapshoot at that point. We just suddenly get it, and we go back through and have a look at Minimus, just because we can. You know, we have tons of fuel, we have supplies for days. I think 80 or something? I don't remember. No, a lot more. 200 days or something out in space. That's actually the food and water and oxygen stuff up there. Now, there are a couple of new kind of cool developments in the mods here. I did add some mods, but not for this recording. But later in this episode you will see some hints at it. But you won't be able to see me actually use them because I don't use them yet. But there are 3 things that I updated / installed, and no, 4 actually. I updated the Flight Engineer, just a compatibility bug fix update, and also the TAC life support thing. Actually, now it has the recycling capabilities, which is really cool. And also I installed a new version of Remote Tech that has the flight computer, which is a really cool thing. You can just set that you should in 10 minutes go prograde for 200 meters a second full thrust, and it'll do that. That's kind of cool. It's like not the autopilot stuff directly, but it's kind of the same as in MechJab. Now I also installed the Keythane mod, and we're going to play with that later, but not for a few more episodes, I think. We'll see. Right, so we're getting back here and having a look, and hey, we get a lot of science from that mission, so that's awesome. So yeah, that was our little extra planetary science mission, yeah. And we now have 656 science in the bank. Now we could get a lot of these stuff. But there's something I want even more. Really want. This thing? Nuclear engines, that's, oh man. An ISP in vacuum of 800 seconds. It is just sick. So yeah, we do need that. Like, this stuff, I don't care. Docking, I don't care at this point. I want the nukes. I always want the nukes whenever I can get them. So let's get them, and now let's see. Now we can get the long range thing here that actually works all the way out to Duna. And I think that's the thing here. I want to be able to set up something that makes it possible for us to do science around Duna with a probe. I don't want to send any guys there. We know what happened last time, and I don't want a repeat of that. So and we get the Communitron 32, which is perfect. So we're going to get this, and we can see, what do we get? Large probes, heavy drone core. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. This is probably a B9 thing, I would guess. And let's see. Okay, so it's probably, yeah, works well as an adapter part. Okay, that's kind of cool. High energy consumption, but yeah, it's pretty heavy. I don't know why I would use this, but hey, that's probably fine. Alright, so there's something I wanted to design here, and I actually started to design a bit off camera, because let's see, where did I put this thing? Yeah, the moon planetary relay. This is the thing. We're going to put 2 of these on the moon, because we do, oh, that's loud. We do have the connection we need on the moon. Right, the moon is connected. So one of these, right, with 4 of these. Now, this thing actually takes 1.86 charges each second, and if we enable all 4 of them, well, that's a lot of charges. And we also need 1 of these. That's 1 more charge per second. We only need 1 though, so hey, let's try to get it. It's close enough. Now, this thing should be able to land on the moon pretty nicely, no problem, really. What we do need is, we probably need to reflect on the dipole though, just in case. As I briefly mentioned, I think the last episode, I always want to have 1 of these with me if I can. So yeah, let's put that there, and let's put some of these gigantic solar arrays on here. We need to make sure that they can actually unfold though. That's the possible problem here. Let's see, if we put them, say here, is that on straight? Nah, almost. I think it's hard to put them on straight here. Yeah, it might actually crash. You know what, we could test this pretty easily by going in here, and I also probably want another set on the outside here. So we'll make a big reflecting thing. Now, let's see. Could we possibly do something like this? Yes, toggle and toggle. Alright, we have yeah, we should be able to just launch this, see how it works. Of course, I haven't added any landing gears or nothing, and so this thing is far from done. But yeah, let's see. Like this, and these should start turning. That's probably not a good way of doing it because they're going to start. Yeah, this thing is blocked by the other one, and this is blocked, and this works. But we are probably getting. Let's just activate a couple of these just to see if we start. Let's just start using some. Yeah, these are 18 per. These are actually 18 per, and these are 1 point per second. We don't need these top ones. That's the thing. We really don't need them, so we could probably pack them with something else. As I touched on briefly in my introduction to remote tech video, you would probably want to scale it to about 4 times what you need to run the rest of the ship. The thing is, these are going to be on the poles of Kerbin. No, not on Kerbin, of course. We could do them on the poles of Kerbin too. That should work too. But I'd prefer to do it on the moon because that's just cooler and it's probably easier to land there. So we could land them with a bunch of parachutes. Nah, let's not do that. That's silly. Alright, so this should work. We do need some batteries, but we shouldn't need to overdo it that much. Just overdo it a little, and that's probably enough. Let's just do something like this. 4 batteries in the core here. So that's 400 each. We have 8 of them, so that's 3,200. This is good enough, even though if we maybe need to land without optimal sunlight. Now, one potential issue is these guys being too flat. Could we perhaps... You know what? We could probably just do something like this, couldn't we? I will stop them. Because we probably want to extend a bit here. Because we don't want these guys to be too flat, because the sun is going to be pretty low, because we're on the poles there. So we need them to be a bit higher up. Now, we don't have the... That's unfortunate, actually. We could do something like this, of course, and just angle these up. That's probably going to look... Yeah, that looks weird. But still, let's have a look here if we can't do something like this, though. Just to make it a bit fancier. Like, these are supposed to be functional, and that's basically it. And we could put them into orbit, but the problem with putting them in orbit is that, well, they will be in the shadows, and it's not as fun. And I do like fun. Let's see. Will this work? It's getting quite wide, though. That's a potential issue. It's where's my thingamajig here? Utility, of course. We only have the smallish landing legs. Should be fine, though. Let's put them right behind here. I think is good. Further down. Alright, so I think that's good. Seems about symmetrical, yeah. Alright, let's do another quick test here, and then I'm going to boost this thing to the moon and see if it works. And of course that's a big test. If it works, well, that's good. Okay, so let's see, could we perhaps get up? Yeah, so this thing, of course these aren't actually in the action group anymore. This is a cool looking thing, and with the extra struts between there and everything, this should be cool looking. Now all of these are now tracking the sun that's up there. So yeah, energy flow 12 and something. The sun exposure is not full, of course. So this will actually stop them from being fully exposed. But the nice thing is that they will have a much better angle. So if the sun is like over here-ish, they should actually be able to illuminate most of them, as long as we put them up right. And this is the thing we could potentially just leave in space as well if we wanted to. Now, still not certain if you want one of these on the moon, but I think it would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, like it's easy to do just a normal thing. If you want to do something special, try doing something abnormal. Right, so yeah, I'm just going to build this thing and probably going to show you the process in fast forward mode. So I'll leave it up to voiceover Lars to actually guide you through that. Yeah. Thank you, real-time Lars. You're a jerk. And yeah, so we're burning up here and going for the moon again. Let's see, let's get a proper orbit up and running, and then we are burning. So yeah, and this is sped up footage again, of course. Yeah, we're going to try to put this thing on the South Pole, I think, because, well, it's easier to put something on the South Pole than it is on the North Pole, because the North Pole is... it is hard, it's jagged. We'll have to deal with that too, but I wanted to tackle the easier one first. That might be a bit, well, I might be a chicken for doing that, but I don't think it's well, I don't think it's too cowardly to actually try to land a thing on the easy side first, just to get acquainted with the craft itself. Let's try to get a lower periaps here. We don't want it too low because we are going to have to fix our orbit a bit. So yeah, you can see me getting out there and then getting a bit too close for my comfort, so I'll just burn it back again in the middle between the the retro marker and north, just to push it a bit more. And let's enable the multi-sats and just pair it up with that. So I'm actually losing contact. Yeah, I didn't actually pair it up. I actually forgot, but it doesn't matter because we get into contact there. We have the better Omni antennas right now, so we should be good. So yeah, you can see me there just trying to adjust the orbit, getting it into a polar orbit. If you look at the inclination, we can see it's at 77, 78, 79, and 85, 89.9. That's a perfect polar orbit. Get on the backside here and start our retrograde burn. And we are going to try to get in pretty low and try to do a landing on the South Pole. And the cool thing about the poles here is that when you get right smack dab on the top of the poles, you actually have more or less eternal sunlight. So we go around once. I just want to make sure that our periaps is right over the pole, and also we are probably going to get better coverage from the satellites that way. So yeah, you can see us coming in pretty slowly here and trying to burn down the periaps even more. Okay, so if you look at, there's the surface panel there, and you can see our longitude and latitude and that stuff. Now we actually get the impact longitude, latitude, and altitude. You can see how far down it is. You can see where we're actually going to hit. I have the marker there, the pointer, and we actually put it to 85, and we're going to stop even more. So now it's 87. I'm just trying to adjust this a bit. I want to come down pretty straight, and you can see we actually crossed it because it starts turning around. It's kind of confusing actually trying to land exactly at the poles, because the camera's angle actually starts twisting around a lot, and that doesn't make it more comfortable. So yeah, we're burning here to stop. I'm doing a very conservative landing here because I have a lot of fuel, but as you see, well, I think I'm going to turn on the lights in a second here. Yeah, there's the lights, and we are going to get a pretty decent landing, pretty soft actually, but it's kind of in a hill and it's behind another hill, so that might actually stop us from getting there. Well, yeah, this is the other. Yeah, that was a quick switch. So yeah, I actually did some adjustments there, just hopped around a bit, and wasn't that exciting. So yeah, this is the second one. It's identical, and this is the landing that's actually a bit interesting, because, well, it's a harder one, a lot harder. Now you can see we're actually connected to the South Pole relay there, and now we're connected back through one of the other relays, and yeah, we're going to do more or less the same thing, just from the other side. We're just going to burn down the apoaps until we more or less almost have an impact, and then we're going to adjust. So you can see me burning. This is a bit more aggressive. You can see me burning there, and then I realized that I'll be coming in way too flat, so I just burn myself straight up, kind of pointed towards the apoaps. So this time I actually released the nuke stage, so it's on crash course to the moon. And last time, well, I created some more space debris for our little Kessler collection there. If you don't know what the Kessler syndrome is, that's basically when there's so much junk in orbit that it is kind of risky to get up there. Now you can see we're coming in pretty flat still, so and we need to go a bit further. You can see our impact latitude there is now 89, and that's kind of perfect, but we do want to go a bit further on the impact so we could break down more aggressively in our lateral velocity, because you've seen me land before, and I usually just brake hard horizontally and then try to fall straight down. You can see it twisting here, so we're really close to the pole, and it is so jagged. It is hard to land there, really hard. And yeah, but we are doing good here. Just adjusting. We have tons of fuel left. I think we have probably around 5, 6, maybe 700 meters a second to adjust with, because we did go down a bit more aggressively. Yeah, like braking late actually means that you have to brake less. Alright, so we are landing. I'm trying to land just on top of this little hill here, just by the crater. Oh, that's a smash down. It looks more dramatic in 4 times speed than it actually was. But it was a bit harder than I would be comfortable with. So this is the place I want to land, and I kind of just try to get down there. Oh, get down hard and try again. I want to try to land on the very tip there, and since we have a lot of fuel left, I think it's worth it. Just trying to get a bit closer to the top. Yeah, so now we actually have visibility above the top, and I checked, and the solar panels are still active, even though it kind of looks like the sun is behind there. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.